Welcome back, guys. This is going to be a little video requested by somebody. So the idea is this person asked, could you do a longer version of how to create a web page, a basic web page, but go into detail. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'll be going into detail how to create a web page and describing tags and other bits and bobs so you understand the structure of it, hopefully in a more simplistic way. So I've created a folder here, as you'll see here, called HTML templates or temp. If I click on it, it's empty. That's exactly what I want to see. Thank you. We're going to open up. I'm going to be using Notepad for this because on a Microsoft or Windows version of operating system, it's a Notepad is the basic form. You could use other text editors like Visual Code. That years ago I think you could use brackets. I think you can still use brackets, but I don't think it's supported as much. You could use, look, I've even got there, if you look at this, I've got Notepad++, which is also very good. I do use that every now and then, but I'm using Notepad today because everyone should have access to Notepad. I think the equivalent on Mac, I'll just check. Let's get this up and running. I may as well check it. So Notepad on is it Mac? Let's have a look. What's the TextEdit? There it is, TextEdit. So the Mac is TextEdit. They are TextEdit. That's that found out. Thank you. So let's open up Notepad and get things kicked off. And there it is, all nice and empty, ready to go. They've updated this, They've updated the Notepad. They've actually updated. It's fantastic. Notepad now is more powerful than it was when I started to learn. So this is quite a powerful tool. But that's Notepad open. Where do we start? Well, as you've already seen in the browser, I've got something already working. This is the browser window, right? Let's go to a browser window. Forget that for next one. This is a browser window. We could search for, say, frogs. Okay, frogs. We pressed it. We get all these search results. We can click on the first web. Let's go on the wiki for frog. It won't hurt. Wikipedia, and this is being rendered. This is a side column or a left aside or a division, and they've got like links in this. This is the header up here at the top. This is another. So we've got two columns. This column and this column, and then the third column here, which is the main content. And these two are sticky because they're sticking. And as you'll notice, the head moves up with it. That's gone up there. You've got all this content. We've got this other little column over here, which then sits over to the right side of the text. It floats over there. As you come down to the bottom of this page, which is quite a big page, you get lots of content. But either way, what I'm trying to get to is all this has been rendered inside the browser to communicate what these sections do on your web page, including the header, the sidebars, and the main content. And if I can get this little thing all the way to the bottom, see this bottom bit here, this bottom section here, that's called the footer. So we've got the footer, header, side panels, or if you like left to side and then right to side, and then the main content in the center, scrolling up and down. That is basically divisions. You're dividing it up. But to get to render, the interpreter needs language. The language is HTML. And where do we start? Well, an HTML document, if you read this, all HTML documents must start with a document type declaration, docutype HTML. Let's click on it. Again, it's W3 Schools. It's fantastic. So this is a declaration. We're going to click on this because that's it. Copy that. Go to my notepad. I'm going to paste that in as is. We're going to save. Don't go save, but go save as, because we need to save it as something special. Where do I want to save it? Go to my desktop, go to HTML temp, which is this one here. A folder is empty, great. Now you want to fold it, save it as HTML dot, not HTML, what are you doing there, plum? You want index, because there's homepage dot HTML, and that should save it as an HTML document. Save. And that's been saved, but as it worked, don't know. Let's go find that out. Let's go and click on inside this. We should have an HTML document. We'll open then. There it is. You can just make out that it's got the Chrome browser icon on it. So if I double click this, it will open up in the browser for me. I will choose Google Chrome. I'll go always, and there it is. That's what we've just created, my first heading. That's effectively a web page, the one we've just been looking at, wiki. That's it. Not very pretty, but we're going to get to that possibly later on in part 2, if you want a part 2. But either way, let's get back to this. This DocuType HTML tag at the top of the page, being this one here, yeah, that's telling the web browser that I want you to render this page in HTML, and that basically that DocuType there is a HTML5 DocuType, right? So we need to, I want to do this for this purpose, just to showcase this, so I will put a comment there. But hey, I've forgotten how to do comments. No problem. What we'll do is we'll type in here comments. If you ever forget something, just type it in Google. Oh look, W3 Schools again. We'll click on it, and there it is. I think you can do one-liners too. I think you can do one-liners, but we'll stick it with this anyway. That'll do. So there's your tag. Let's click on that. We'll go copy. We'll go to our notepad. We'll put it here. We'll paste it. It will not be seen inside it. Interpreter will completely ignore what I put inside that text. So if I just press save for a second, go back to this guy, come on, the declaration. So all documents have a decoration, document decoration. That'll do. That'll do. We'll copy that. We'll put this in here. Paste document type declaration. Basically that's what it is. Get rid of that, put a capital D, press save. Now you'd expect, when I first saw this I thought, oh, I don't want that crap there, do you know what I mean? But if I go back to the browser, click on the index.html, the one we were working on, press this refresh button, and nothing's seen. You can't see anything because that's a comment. So that's what we're going to do over this page. This HTML here, if I copy that comment now, copy, put that there, and go to the next one, put a body tag, put that there, put that there for the H1, put that there for this, put that there, and put that there. This is me being, I'm being really, you will not be using this as your template, but it's basically showing you what it is, and that's the idea behind this video. So this tag, so I'm going to write it all in this tag, because I'll show you what a tag is. This tag tells the browser, if I spelled that right, browser HTML starts, HTML code starts, yeah? That's basically what that does. This tag tells the browser HTML code starts. That's it. Everything inside this tag and the closing HTML tag is everything you want. So basically you could copy that out. Yeah. This is I'm going long-winded here, but then this tag tells the browser HTML code ends. Yeah. If you're starting new, we'll save that. Thank you. This tag, if I go to this tag, you can click on this tag, press, this tag tells the browser, not all of this, the body tag. The body starts where all the main content will go. That's what that body tag will do. Start. Then inside the end body, we're going to put the same again, but we're going to get rid of this browser, the body tag, the body ends. Yeah, nice and easy to understand that. There you go. This tag tells the browser the body. Let's go tag, then you can understand it. Tag ends. Then we've got an h1 tag. This is we aren't going to do this. We're going to tell this is a heading. This is an heading tag, and that all ends on the same line. The p tag can be also the same sort of thing, but we're going to go with that anyway. This is a paragraph tag. If I spelled that right, if I haven't, don't worry about it. It's in the comments, it won't be shown. So we've got everything done. HTML tag, an HTML tag, we have a body tag, we have a p tag, we have a ending body tag and HTML tag. Now if I've done all that, look at all that stuff. Click on it, save, sorry, refresh the window, nothing's changed. That's great, that's exactly what I wanted. Let's think about now, because if you look at the web page, just for instance, what we've got there is index HTML up here, right? We don't want that. We need to change that, and we want this to be home. Yeah, we want that to be home. Yeah, so we're going to give it a title. That means talking about a head. If I get into here, between the start of the body tag and this HTML tag, we write something called the head. How do we write tags? Well, a tag will start like that and it will end like that. So that everything you stick inside between these two things, that's basically a tag, but we've got no name. The interpreter, being the browser itself, needs to know what you're trying to communicate, what you're telling it. So in HTML code terms, inside this section here, we're going to call it head. Then to end a tag, we call it the same thing. So I've now opened a tag called head, and there it is. And what we do in this tag called head, I mean, you could research it if you want to look at things like that. We can go for another browser window. We can go for HTML head, right? Don't want to do that. I want HTML head. Click return. Oh look, we have HTML head elements. There we are. Click on that. Should work then. There it is, the head element. What we get here is the HTML head element is a container for the following elements: title, for which we want to use; style, for which we don't. Well, it's recommended you put your styles separately, but you can incorporate it in the page as well. You're not breaking any rules by not doing that. But when you start talking in a multi-page website, having all your styles at the top of the page, it can get a bit messy and a bit long. That's why we separate it with cascading style sheets, but that you can put a style tag in there, a meta tag, a link tag, scripts tag, and base tag. Let's have a look. So the title tag element defines the title of the document. The title must be text only, and it is shown in the browser's title bar or in the pages tab. So at the moment we've got this page tab here at the top here with the title indexed HTML. We don't want that. No, we want a title tag. TITL. Can you go away, mate? A title tag. That's left angle bracket, the tag name itself, a right angle bracket. We then do a left angle bracket, a /, and we write title, and then we do a right angle bracket. Anything I stick inside here will be the title. So anything inside this section between those two opening and closing tags will be the title. You do not need to put a H1 or a P, just type the title in. So let's go not quick, let's call it my web page. My web page. Let's go Control and S and save. If I then look at this, it's still saying index HTML, but if I then click this one, it's gone to my web page. You can see that I've got a direct thing to it. That's good. Now, just for argument's sake, this head needs this thing, doesn't it? So that we can comment it out. V8. This code, this code tells the browser. Let's go. The head starts, and then do it again. Let's get rid of this thing. It tells the browser the head ends. Just for argument's sake, we're going to put one in there. That gives a title. I mean, you could go crazy with this. The browser. This is the title. Title of the of the page. So everything's got a tag. Now save. Happy days. So that's that done. Everything's been titled. This is the head over here. Head. Remember, we're working with the head. That's basically all we need to do. Except you might want to put in like a link text to it, CSS and things like that. So we need to understand how to include external CSS files to it, because I'm not going to use the style tag in there, but title tag I use. I also use a link type. Forget the styles. I do use this, and it's there already. Great. So this is the link, and we put the link tag inside the head. So we're just going to copy this. Okay, copy. We're going to put that into our head, which is inside this. We put that in. We're not going to call it my normal case scenario is you would just call it style CSS. I think I think you have to also put type in there. So if you put type equals, is it right? Yeah, equals. Where's equal gone? Thank you. Put double quotes, and then inside that you go, hang on, type, link type. I've forgotten something, and I'm being genuine here. I have forgotten it. HTML linked types. That's me being honest. Link type attribute. There we are. Thank you. There it is. Style sheet text CSS. That's a better one. Look. Thank you. That's what I wanted. Not that crap. Thank you. So if we get this again, we're going to go just copy and paste that better version. That's what I want. I didn't want that bloody gap there, did I? Thank you. Style sheet, style CSS. So that's it. Happy days. But if I then I need to create another comment for this one. What work then? Come on. And we press V, and then this, I'm going to call it link. Links to a CSS file to render the content. So this link links to a CSS file to render the content. Happy days. We'll say save, and we'll have a look what that looks like. Go back to my web page. Click. Nothing. because we haven't created it yet, have we? Now then, is it lowercase? Yeah, great. So we'll go new file. We're just going to call this save as. Inside HTML temp, great. We'll call it style dot css because it will save it as a CSS file. Cascading Sheets. Save. That's that done. I think if we go open a new tab and type in, if you ever get stuck and you wanted to read what external style external CSS and just type it in, there it is. We can just click on the W3 Schools again, and it's a great resource. And I'm using it. That's it. We've already got this already, and then the style sheet. We've got this body background. That's it. But there is a thing you can include at the top for Unitype, but I don't think it's really needed. But right now, we're just going to copy that. Yeah, copy that. Get some styles in there. We're in styles, aren't we? Yeah. So paste. I don't want it. Forget the H1. I'll keep the body. This is body. Open curly brackets, or like the curly brackets. I think they're called curly brackets. Them. So body open curly brackets. But background color light blue. Semicolon. And then that's it. That's the first style. If I press save and then go back to the web page with my web page and press this. Why is it not working? Did I not save? Hang on. That's been in there. Relative style sheet types arif style.css styles. You see, a simple mistake made. They're saying styles. That's why it wasn't working. So if I delete that S, most 9 times, if not 10 times out of 10, it's a simple typing error or a mistake of that nature. So look for that. That's why I looked. So if it doesn't work, oh look at this, it's gone light blue. So let's get rid of all these other ones we don't need no more. So effectively, you could go from that and keep going and adding to it to this web page, but then inside your building this thing up, you'd end up with something that you've got links, you've got your style sheets in there, but sometimes down here you might want to include some script of some description, like a JavaScript file. So we'll add that to our template because eventually you might want to include it. So we're going to type in here including a JavaScript file in HTML. Yeah, and there it is. If we go to, it should be there. HTML script source attribute. So we'll click on that because that could be the one I'm looking for. There it is. This script here. Yeah. If I open this up and press copy, and if you remember definition usage, it has to go just before the closing body tag. Basically, that's why I've come to the bottom over here, and you put that in there. Okay, so we're not going to call it that. We can call it my script. Yeah, but you can call it my web page if you wanted. So my web page. Yeah, my web page.js end script. Nothing goes in the center for it. It's always puzzled me why nothing goes in the center here. But at the moment, source script, my web page.js script, and nothing's in this. But we'll press save. The web page will not change, but we're going to create a new file called my web page. So file, save as. And we're going to call this my web page dot JS because the extension for JavaScript is JS. Okay, so if I go this, save, this is now saved as a JavaScript file inside the HTML. You've got it all linked there. Again, we need to put a a comment there. Why not? Let's put a comment in that. Okay, let's put a comment in this one at the end of this one. Thank you. This tag tells the browser to include, yeah, I think that's more like it, to include, if I found that right, JavaScript, yeah, to include JavaScript, or where to find the JavaScript. So I think this tag tells the browser to include JavaScript. Yes, that'll do. Save. You know where it's coming from this one here. I'll have that open because I'm going to show you something in a minute. So if we go back to my web page and press refresh, nothing's changed. But how do we know that? How do we know that this newly formed mywebpage.js JavaScript is being included in the page? Well, you look for console. You could test it by going. Well, it worked then. You could test it by going JavaScript. Yeah, not file extension, but that's great. If you do something called a console log, yeah, work then. Yeah, and you include that inside your thing. Now I'll have a look at this method. If I include this console.log inside the JavaScript file over here, which is this in JS, if I press this, yeah, and I say, we'll call this hello web page, yeah, yeah, why not? Hello web page. We'll save this. Okay. Now let's go look at the website. Let's go back to my web page. Press refresh. Nothing's changed. So how do we look at the console? I swear it's F12, but I'm not. Is it Control or FN? There it is. It is F12. And if you look at this, opens up your developer tools. You can open it up different ways, but the shortcut is F12 on Windows, and you'll see a tab up here. You got elements, console, sources, network, performance. There's a whole host here. You can have a little dig around. You can't break it. It won't hurt you. But if you click on the console, there's hello web page. So that JavaScript file is connected now. So I can start adding JavaScript stuff into there and getting more complicated and bits and bobs. But I just wanted to emphasize the point how easy it was to include a JavaScript file in it. Okay, let's close this down. Okay, I've closed that down. If you can't remember what it is, if you come to the three little dots up here, click it, and then go to, let's have a look, more tools. Yeah, if you go to more tools, yeah, and then go developer tools and click on developer tools, it opens up for you. Nice and easy. You can always find it, mate. You know what I mean? You can always find it. And if you want to close it, of course, you can close it. Job done. You can have a little look at that, have a research what that does. But basically, let's have a look at this. Let's go back to our index. We've now got our HTML docutype at the top. HTML starting, HTML ending. We have a head tag and a closing tag. We have a title tag that changes the browser's title or the tab title. We have a link text linking the CSS, and we know that's working because I changed one element on it. At the bottom, I've also included a script tag to include a script file. We know that works because it's connected. We've got a body tag and ending body tag. H1 tags. I mean, you could even go, if you wanted. This is I think you're gonna have to go for put an H. This is a H1 heading tag. Okay, and then if you did it again and you changed it, have a little play. It won't hurt. We'll copy that out. We'll revert it again and again and again. That's as far as I want to go. We'll change that to an H2. We'll change this to a 2. We'll change that to a 2. We'll change that to a 3. We'll change that to a 3. We'll change that to a 3. Okay, we'll change that to a 4. We'll change that to a 4. We'll change that to a 4. Yeah. We'll press save. We'll go back down. If I now press this, we've then got these 1, 2, 3, 4 headings, and this is a paragraph at the bottom. You're just playing around with it, have a little play with it, add new elements. We haven't got to that bit yet. The other elements you might want to include inside the head are those other things. So if I just close him down, don't need him no more. If you get lost, search for it. If you can't remember it, so let's go HTML head. Job done. Head. These are the head elements. Body, head, title, meta. So if we click on this meta tag, won't do it there then. Meta. That's what I want to look at. Meta now. Link tag, meta tag. That's it. Char set. Yeah, most often than not, you will use that char set anyway. So you're going to go click, and we can add that to the browser inside the head. Let's put them after all the links. So those two things, title and links to style sheets, yeah, have them at the top, and then have that thing after. And what I'll do that in a min, the comments for that one. But yeah, I'm going to go keywords. Okay, let's have meta keywords in there, because that always helps with search engine optimization. So click that in there. We're going to control and save. We're going to go down. I'm going to go description. It's always good to put a description. Again, this helps with SEO. So we're going to press return and enter and add a description to this web page. And then it's always good to have this in, copy, and that then just tells people who wrote it, this web page. This is the purpose of a one-page website. That's all. So yes, I am going to include these ones. It's got their refresh document every 30 seconds. I've never seen that. Let's put it in. It says refresh document every 30 seconds. Yeah, why not? Let's put that in. I've never even used that before. That's a new one on me. They must have included that after. I don't know. Put it in. Press save. I'm assuming that will do what it says on the can. And then the viewpoint. Now, this is an important one, because if you're thinking about going and wanting to design this one web page to being mobile version, desktop version, and all those other versions, you know, because people are might access your web page on a TV screen that's massive, do you know what I mean? Of all different sizes. There's different brands of phones, different screen sizes, different devices. There's so many sizes you have to cater for. So to understand or to get around that idea, where do you start designing for everything? The first step is setting a viewpoint to make your website look good on all devices, and this does that for you. This tag is basically the starter tag for your what's it called, mobile GWD, I think, something like that. Anyway, copy that out, and we're going to put that in. Oosh. And you'll find that tag, right? You'll find that tag inside the start of Bootstrap. You'll see Bootstrap, they'll have that in there for you. So we need to put 3 comments up here. Yeah, let's put this comment for that one. Copy. We're going to put that comment for this one. A 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 comment for this one. Jeez. But I'm doing this for this purpose. So the first one was that this one you wanted. So we don't need all of that stuff. This tag is telling the browser to use UTF-8. No, what are we doing? 8 char set. In other words, it's a set of characters and these characters, different characters and different sets of characters, correspond to different types of countries. And this char UTF-8 or char set of UTF-8 is English, American, anything that's that sort of nature. So right now you're seeing this environment, this browser this notepad window that I'm using right now is using UTF charset 8. Most websites will be using that anyway, so use that. This tag is telling the browser to use UTF charset. Save. Now the next one is the keywords. So I won't say this tag, but I'll go keywords help to describe this. If I spot that right, yeah, describe the content of the web page. Yeah, so keywords help to describe the content of the web page in words. That's the best way to describe it. So if you've got you're doing a website for a dog company or a cleaning dog company, you're going to be using words like dog, comma, clean, comma, fresh, comma, dog food, comma, collar. You've got like a e-commerce website for dogs and cats or whatever. You're looking for just one singular word, and that you're just describing and putting as many words in there as you can associated with the website and company. So if they do like bricks and mortar, you put bricks, mortar, sand, cement, all separated. If you look, we've got HTML, CSS and JavaScript there as keywords, but we're going to leave that as it is. Then you've got this meta name description content, so that this is saying to the browser, this meta name description is saying this is a description of what the website is, what the website or the content of the website is. Okay, so at the moment we've got 3 words for the content of this description, and we could write our own in there. We're going to write this is, well, type it right, Bill. This is my first web page. Yeah, and you could write a complete paragraph in there. You could do. You could write like a 250 words, 1,000 words. It doesn't matter. Your content, it all helps towards SEO. So this tag. Hopefully I can spell this again. Not that. This keywords. I'll say description then. Yeah, then I'll just. I'll do that. I'll go meta description describes, yeah, have I spelled that right? Describes all the content in a paragraph form. Yeah, that'll do. Let's press save. Now the author tag, meta name, author, content. I think it's quite easy to get your name around that, or your idea. I'll put in my name. Okay. This tag tells the browser, no. This is what I'll put there. Who created the web page? Yeah, who created it? Nice and easy. I'm assuming I've never used this meta tag, this meta thing. So web page should refresh. Refresh every 30 seconds. Is that? I'm assuming that's seconds, so I'll just go and choose that. So web page refresh every 30 seconds. Happy days. And then this tag here, it's called something. I must find out what it's called. It's going to bug me if I don't find out what it's called. Let me just save that. I don't want things going off. Let's get HTML comma, yeah, it's comma CSS. I think it's RWD. Yeah, I think it's RWD. Responsive web design. Thank you. Shit, eh? Responsive web. I've been out doing this for ages now. Been doing all kinds of other things for WordPress, but doing like as a basic tutorial. Yeah, responsive web design. So this element, go back to WordPress. Not WordPress. I do mainly WordPress stuff as well, but this is viewpoint content width. This helps with RWD, responsive web design. That's it. I think that's about it. This helps with RWD, which is responsive web design. Simple. That's it. All the tags are done, Luke. If I press save, all that stuff I've just added, yeah, will not be seen. Shouldn't be. Yeah, no changes whatsoever. Still got the 4 headings and the paragraph. Still got my web page. What do we see in developer tools? More tools, developer tools, and we just see the we have that console.log coming out there. But let's go to elements. Let's go to, show me the arrow. Thank you. You can pull this down and have a good look at everything. This is your code. This here, these elements are all here. As you scroll over your elements, they're all there. You can see the head. It's here. So let's click on the head. And all those things I've just added and comments are there, look. Wow, that's good, isn't it? All the things I've just added are there in the window, which is pretty cool stuff, isn't it? But again, if you were looking at building on this, yeah, I mean, you could change this and do what you want after, that's no problem. But you're not going to be using this to send off the thingy. This is just me giving you a description of how things work, as in comments. But you could include comments on all your web pages, but to get around everything, okay, we're going to create a new web page. I think that's about all I want to include at the moment for a basic template. Okay, all of these headings I don't want. Okay, so I don't want all those headings. I just wanted the basics. Okay, let's get rid of them. We don't need them. Okay, there's a H1 tag. Yes, you probably will want to include a H1 tag, maybe. So I don't really want them. So in my first template, I don't want them. Let's get the body. Anything let's put a tag here. Yeah. I want to put a tag down here, a comment, sorry. And this is where I'm going to write, this is where all content will be visible. This is where all content will be, I want to put rendered. Yeah, is that, if I spelled that right? Let's get rid of this stuff. Oh, okay, rendered. That'll do. Press save. No. Go away. Now then, if I press this, all that should disappear. That's exactly what I want. That is my web page. Close that down. That's exactly what I want to see. Nothing. Let's also go to our styles. Go Control and A and get rid of that crap and save. I want to see a white page. Press save. Oh, we could have tested that 30 seconds, couldn't we? Let's go back to, let's test that out. Okay, let's put that back in. Is it undo Z? There it is. Press save for now. Yeah, come on, let's go and do this. Refresh, it should see blue. Great, we know it's blue. Let's test that refresh out and let's see if it works. So let's go A again and delete and press save. Now let's watch the web page for 30 seconds to see if it does refresh. I'm hoping it does. if it turns white in a min, we can see that it has refreshed, and that element inside the meta tag actually works, which would be fantastic to see that. But it's done it. Wow. I've never used that before, people. That's amazing. The power of that meta tag at the top there is unbelievable. That meta. So we know now, yeah, this document, that the style sheet works and it's connected. We know the JavaScript file, mywebpage.js, is connected, and we can include web stuff. I mean, you don't need to have that, but it won't hurt to put that in, leave it in anyway, so I won't touch it. But that isn't what I would send to a live browser. I wouldn't put all those comments in there. The whole purpose of comments is, if you're doing lots of code, it's good, handy to have this. So what we're going to have, what I'm going to do is save as and give it another name, and I'm going to call it index for now anyway, or maybe call it home. Yeah, call it home for now. .html. Press save. It's now, you can see that the name's changed. Good. We're going to get rid of all of this stuff. Okay. We're going to get rid of this stuff. I know it's a long-winded way to do things, but now you're going to see it with all the comments removed as basics. I've showed you all the bits. We don't need that. We don't need that comment. We don't need that comment. We're going to bring that back up, that back up, that back up. We're going to get rid of this stuff. We don't need the comments for that side, but we do need the head to remain. So get rid of the comments. I mean, you think yourself, it's always good to have at least one page, just one template with all these comments in it, because sometimes you might forget things. Do you know what I mean? Which is not good. So let's get rid of that comment for the description and leave it there. Let's get rid of this one for this guy, every comment basically. Let's get rid of that comment. Can you see how clean it looks with no comments? Once you get used to using these tags and opening tags and closing tags and getting into HTML, you will basically never use comments again. If you're doing some solid hard coding, I think you would. You know, you will be using these things. What are you doing? Go up. It's such a little thing. Oh, thank you. That's the start of the head. No, thank you. Get rid of that one. How clean it looks. Now, if you're doing this, essentially, you would actually stick that. You then come down to the bottom of your head. Where's that closing thing? Thank you. There it is. And then as your body is over here, you do this, maybe two, and then come back up. And that is basically what your web page will be. Okay, you could argue that that needs to be named actually something different. So, to be argument's sake, we're going to close all that crap down. We're going to refresh this. There it all is. We should have a JS file, yes, CSS source file, a home file, which we just created, and an index. If I open up index, come on, work. Thank you. You see it's white. That's exactly what we wanted in the first place. That's great. So close that down. Let's open this with Notepad. Yep. And we're going to save this as something else, just for argument's sake. And we're going to call it, can I call it HTML? HTML underscore template dot HTML. That's the extension. Yeah, that's good. Save. HTML template. Like it. Let's get rid of all that there. Yeah, what we need to do is get rid of that now, because I don't want. There's the HTML template for which I wanted to call it in the first place. This index, this home page. Yeah, this one here. Get rid of that now. Delete. Don't want that. Get this one and rename it, because that's what I want to call my first thing in it. .html. Thank you. That's better. So we have an HTML template and index.html, which is the first web page built from it. Yeah, I don't know about that, mate. Okay. There's HTML template. With all the comments in it, Luke. Yeah, this is what I wanted. Thank you. Sheesh. That was better. There's my styles. There's my web page TS. This is my index HTML template with all the bits in it. Yes, we haven't even done any rendering, any things within it like boxes, containers, divisions and things like that. I just wanted to create an HTML template with all these bits in, so you can see for yourself how easy it is to get started. And it is once you get started. If you need to rewatch this video, rewatch it. We don't need that style anymore. If I open, now let's open up the what I like to call the index HTML with, come on, open with Notepad. It'll be the cleaner version. Happy days. That's happy days, isn't it? That's exactly what I wanted, because there should be no in the title tag. The title of my web page. Yeah, that's what it's got. If I click on the thingy, where's it gone? Come on, we'll find it. I'll get there in a minute. If I double click this index HTML, there it is, my web page. Happy days. So yeah, so we've got the clean version, which is this one, which is index HTML, which you would start your web page would be called index HTML, or then you've got to change the title of the tab, but it's still called index HTML because all home pages are index HTML. Not unless you're doing WordPress, then you've got a default index HTML, and then you can separate a page out to be in that thing. But this is a long-winded way and a long-winded video to get to this point, which is this is your basics, okay? Before you even start entering your content down here. There's no content in the website. In this web page, in this index HTML, there is no content. That's what we're going to add in part 2, and we're going to work things out and try different things and create boxes, maybe add some styles and go through some styles with you. But basically this is the long-winded way to make a template up. I mean, if you start thinking about Bootstrap or other frameworks that you can include inside of this environment template, you could then, if you wanted to, for argument's sake, create a template. So this is HTML template. We could write a Bootstrap template. You get that? And then you create the same sort of page, but Bootstrap. You have the commented version, so you can see what they are and what they do, and then you've got the minified version or the lowercase version of this. Do you know what I mean? And you can do that. I've noticed that the name is changed, so I need to change that after. It should be just index HTML, but there it is anyway. So how easy it is to do that, people. Happy days, innit? Hey, happy days. If you enjoyed this video, please hit me a like, leave any comments. If you found this entertaining or found it informative, please let me know. If you do want part 2, comment below. If you don't, fair dues. But I probably will just do a quick one to add divisions, like sections, like the header, footer, sidebar, main content. It takes no time at all, and I'll do the two different versions, one with comments and then one with a more cleaner version, so you can see for yourself how easy it is to get up and running with HTML and not be afraid of it. And if you get lost, you know what to do. Hit the browser window, open it up, type whatever you lost, just start it with HTML, yeah, and I'm talking about divisions, and that's normally DEV, and you press HCF div, and it says there divisions. If you go to the, where's it go? There it is. Always go to this guy here, but you can get other information. I mean, that dev tool, that web dev, go for there. Go for this MDN web docs, that's good too. Try any resource you can, but I highly recommend you go to W3 Schools. So this is the HTML div tag. Let's have a look. There it is, my div. We'll do that in part 2 if you want me to go through that section. I will organise this folder a little bit cleaner and fix some issues that I've noticed. But either way, people, if you get problems, just have a look at it. It's normally a typing error. All the time it's a typing error. But once you start, break that mold and start doing it and having a little play, it gets easier and easier, and you get to using your brain power to, it's repetition. Once you've got that going, it's easy. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you if you want part 2. So thanks very much for watching, and goodbye.